Netflix is a treasure trove of science fiction films, but with that vastness comes a problem of navigating it. Fear not, we're here to help. From huge blockbusters to intimate thrillers, these are some of the best sci-fi movies on Netflix. Director Bong Joon-ho earned a major victory on the world stage in early 2020 when his film Parasite took Best International Feature, Best Original Screenplay, Best Director, and Best Picture at the Academy Awards. Since then, film fans everywhere have been seeking out his other work. But if you still happen to be a beginner, Snowpiercer might be your perfect Bong Joon-ho getaway. Like Parasite, the film is a dark, satirical look at class. However, Snowpiercer leans heavily into science fiction. It takes place on a train, which carries the remnants of humanity in an endless loop around the world, after it was left frozen in the wake of a cataclysmic event. Featuring tremendous performances from Chris Evans and Tilda Swinton, Snowpiercer documents the rise of a resistance movement to take back the train from the elite upper class that controls it.
This is going to be good.
In the years before making his directorial debut with Ex Machina, Alex Garland established himself as a talented sci-fi writer through screenplays for 28 Days Later and 2012's Dread. For his first film as a director, Garland poured those instincts into a science fiction thriller exploring artificial intelligence, the hubris that goes hand in hand with genius, and what happens when it all collides in an extremely remote mansion. Ex Machina is a story of a programmer named Caleb, who wins a visit to the secluded home of Nathan Bateman, an enigmatic tech genius played with brilliant abandon by Oscar Isaac. Nathan reveals to Caleb that he's built a robot who might be able to pass the Turing test.
Do you have a name?
Yes. Ava.
Over the next several days, Caleb and Ava grow closer, and it becomes clear that she is much more than just an intelligent robot. Ava is forming a plan, and her human keepers are part of it, whether they like it or not. If you're looking for an intimate, tense sci-fi thriller with big ideas and big performances, Ex Machina is for you. For some reason, Minority Report feels like a somewhat minimized entry in the Steven Spielberg filmography. Perhaps it's because pop culture's memory for sci-fi blockbusters keeps getting shorter, or maybe it's because the film falls in Spielberg's career between beloved classics like Jurassic Park and later films that didn't always connect with longtime fans, like Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Still, whether you haven't seen the film since it was released or you're just eager for something new to watch, Minority Report is well worth remembering. The sci-fi action film stars Tom Cruise as a police captain working in a pre-crime division that predicts and stops homicides before they happen. Until one day a prediction reveals that he himself is set to be a killer very soon. This intriguing setup allows Cruise to do some of his best man-on-the-run work while also allowing Spielberg to simultaneously deliver high-concept science fiction. The result is a tremendously entertaining sci-fi thriller. Sometimes the best sci-fi films are the ones that can take a very direct metaphor and present it in a way that's both visually compelling and intellectually surprising, and District 9 is one of those movies. Director Neil Blomkamp's breakout film tells the story of an alien species who came to Earth and was eventually herded into internment camps by the South African government. Beginning with that premise, the film focuses on the story of a government worker who goes inside the camp to serve eviction notices and engage with the aliens.
There you go, eat your sweetie. He's gonna eat his sweetie. Works like a charm every time.
The worker soon finds himself undergoing profound physical and psychological changes after coming into close contact with a piece of alien technology. District 9 was one of the most acclaimed films of 2009, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture and launching Blomkamp into a career that has since produced major films like Chappie and Elysium starring Matt Damon. Years after its release, District 9 remains one of the most respected and impactful sci-fi films of the 2000s, and it helped spawn a new wave of thoughtful movies about alien interactions with humans. Spike Jonze movies have always defied easy classification. From the unexpected world of being John Malkovich to the meta-zaniness of adaptation, Jones's films retain a sense of raw and honest humanity even when they're expanding into outlandish territory. However, of all his films, Her might actually be the most human, which is saying something when you consider the subject matter. Written by Jones himself, Her is the story of a lonely man who finds himself striking up a friendship and later an intense romantic relationship with an advanced operating system named Samantha. On the surface, this might seem like a one-note bit of storytelling, but with brilliant performances from Joaquin Phoenix, Amy Adams, and Scarlett Johansson as the voice of Samantha, Jones expertly explores the various implications of the relationship and the way the world responds to it. Beautifully crafted, oddly funny, and full of emotional surprises, Her is unlike any other major sci-fi film of the last decade. In 1999, the Wachowskis released The Matrix, and science fiction cinema hasn't been the same since. The film is about a young hacker who learns the world he knows is really a simulation, and he's been drafted as a messiah in a battle against humanity's machine overlords. The Matrix offered moviegoers mind-blowing wirework, groundbreaking visuals, and the kind of philosophical underpinnings that have come to define so many 21st century sci-fi blockbusters. It's an essential film for action fans, science fiction fans, and movie fans in general. In fact, its influence can still be seen in countless films and television shows.
The Matrix is everywhere.
In the spring of 2020, The Matrix returned to Netflix, but this classic didn't come alone. You can also watch the two sequels, Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions. Granted, they can't quite live up to the trailblazing impact and influence of the original movie, but they still have plenty to offer. Reloaded features some of the best action sequences of the entire saga, and Revolutions is a classic case of time being very kind to a film that leans heavily into the philosophy of its story. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about movies on Netflix are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.